Hey everyone, this is John with Sir Winston Honeybees. Today is Wednesday. It is April 8th, 2026, and it is 60 degrees outside. And it's on Wednesday. Usually I don't shoot videos on Wednesday, but why am I here today? Well, let me show you something. That's right, dandelions. Dandelions are starting to bloom, and that's kind of a sign that we're about to get a flow. And if you look around Northeast Ohio, which is where I'm located, you see some trees that are starting to flower, all the trees, the cherries and everything else. And so it's time for the bees to get busy, go out and collect nectar, and go out and collect pollen. They have been collecting pollen for about 4 weeks now, since the red maple started blooming. Now, the reason why I'm out here today is very important. As you know, I have bee barns. And with my bee barns, I'm transitioning out of the bee barns. And so I was thinking, scratching my head, I was thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to transition out of these bee barns? And I was thinking, should I just take them apart, tear the brood frames out, put them into a deep frame, then put them into a deep box? And then it dawned on me today, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to put a deep box on top of the bee barn, and I'm just going to leave that there as a super for a brood. Now, why don't I put that underneath? Well, because bees usually tend to work up. And so what I want to do is I'm going to put my infinity frames, 5 of my infinity frames and 5 of my drawn frames into that deep box. And I'm just going to I'm going to feed a lot of syrup, and I'm going to let those bees build out those frames in that deep box. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I'm going to move the queen up, put a queen excluder underneath that deep box, and allow the brood in the lower chambers to hatch. And then I'm going to tear the bee barns apart, put the brood box underneath, and then start supering up on top. So that's the plan. Sounds a little complicated, but that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to get into the shed right here, find some supplies, and get this job done. All right, so here we are at the hives, and as you can see, they're very active, and which is great. By the way, I'm about to make a bold prediction here in Northeast Ohio. I'm going to say this right now. Winter is over. There's not going to be any more freezes. This is it. Beekeeping season is open. All right, so with that said, I did locate 6 deep drawn out frames. So what I'm doing right here is getting the infinity frames that I bought from 21st Bee at the Tri-County Beekeepers Association annual meeting. So I'm very excited to try this product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 6 drawn out frames, and I'm going to checkerboard it with these frames right here. Now, if you're new to beekeeping, checkerboarding means I'm going to put a fully drawn out frame, blank frame, fully drawn out frame, blank frame. As a matter of fact, since I have more of the infinity, I'm going to put those on the outside and then kind of mix them, checkerboard them on the inside. So that way we'll have a mix of drawn comb as well as the new frames. And again, like I said, pollen's coming in, and also nectar is starting to come in, but I'm going to feed. I'm going to feed them syrup, just a simple syrup, 1-to-1 syrup with some Hive Alive syrup supplement, and that's how we're going to go ahead and get this ready. So I'm going to take the feeders off the top right there, and because I want to use these boxes. They're in better condition than these. These are pretty old and they have holes in them, so I don't want any kind of bugs or any wasps getting into the hives. As you can see, they can defend their top entrance right here. So these bees are thriving, and they're getting there in this hive here. So like I said, winter's over, beekeeping season is open. All right, so I'm not going to use smoke today because I'm not really opening the hive for a long time. But as you can see, the bees are pretty active, and this hive tends to be a little aggressive. So I'm wearing the veil and the gloves, also because I'm slightly allergic. I have my EpiPens just in case. So anyway, it's not a hobby for people who are very allergic, but I can tolerate a sting or 2. After that, you might see me pass out, but that's not going to happen today. So we're going to take off. Right here is the cover for our feeder. I want to use these boxes. I'm going to checkerboard the the infinity frames together with my old frames, and then I'm going to put that box there. As you can see also, my feeder is right way up. Here's the opening for the feeder. It's been freezing the last 2 nights overnight, but so I haven't been feeding them because I don't want the honey or the syrup to freeze, and then when it thaws it might pour on them. So keep the syrup the right way up. I covered the hole on top. Here's my box. I'm going to go ahead and start this checkerboarding process, and I'll show it to you in 1 second. Okay, so like I said, these are the infinity frames from 21st Bee, and I'll link their website below. By the way, please subscribe to my channel. Yes. So I'll put these on the outside, and then I've got my drawn frames. Here's the infinity frame again. Like I said, I have 6, so the math might not work out right away, but I'll figure it out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 2 more of these. All right, and then I got 3 left over for my other hive over there, and I've got more infinity frames ready to go. So let's go ahead, put these on top of the hive. This is the part where I do open the top of the hive, but I'm just going to pop that on real quick and then go ahead and cover them with the inner cover and put the feeder on, and that's it. We're back in business. I'll say one thing about the infinity frames. While they do seem very cool and they're indestructible, but the indestructibility makes them also very heavy. So once these get packed with honey and brood and whatever, this box is going to be very heavy in itself. But let's go ahead and get this job done. All right, so now I'm going to expose these bees, obviously. Lots of bees. Put the cover back on with the brood minder temperature sensor. And now, take my syrup, I'm going to turn it upside down just to pour some out, create a vacuum, pop it on top. And this is ready to go. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this old box. Just protect the feeder, and then just put my telescoping cover on the top. So again, just to explain, here's what I'm doing. I am transitioning out of bee barns. A bee barn is a beehive configuration that has both a full frame and a medium frame combined into one, so it's a large frame. Now, they're encased in this that you can see is basically a full and a medium, but I'm trying to get out of them. So just to explain it again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this on here, have my bees draw out the comb, and have the queen move up. Once she's moved up and she's laying eggs and there's brood in here, I'm going to exclude her, shut her off. I'm going to keep her up here, let her do her thing up here, let the bees emerge down in this box, so we'll have a good population of bees. Then I can take the bee barns apart without damaging any brood or anything else, put this box down in the bottom, put a medium super on top, then put a queen excluder, and then let the queen create more bees, and then of course we're hoping for some honey. So that's the plan right here. Let's go ahead and do the other hive. Check it out. 2 hives and 2 completely distinct personalities. Now that one obviously doesn't have as much population as this one. This one's thriving, this one is really booming, but that one has a healthy population. That one's doing what it's supposed to do, and it's on its way to becoming a good hive. That one's calm, this one's not so calm. But I'm also seeing a lot of pollen going in, so they say that the angrier the hive, the more productive they are. I don't know. Oh, by the way, we see more paper getting pulled out. That's paper from the pollen patty. Had a short video showing bees pulling paper out of the hive last week. It's pretty interesting. Let's watch for a second as nature does its beautiful thing. All right, so that's it for today. As you can see, the sun is starting to set here in Northeast Ohio. Again, it's about 60 degrees. What a beautiful day. 2 hives with 2 distinct personalities. It's very exciting. The hives are booming, and like I said, winter is over. Now, folks, here's what I want you to do. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Why is that? Because I have some exciting partnerships coming up this season. So I'm going to be showing off their products here in the next few weeks as they send me some of these products. So you don't want to miss that. So make sure that you're a part of that. Subscribe to the channel. Give me some likes. And until next time, happy bees, everybody.